Nasir Khusraw was born in the year 1004 in the region of Khorasan during the reign of the Ghaznavid Empire. During his youth, he mastered the Persian and Arabic languages, and he studied the Quran as well as philosophy, mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. Due to his vast knowledge, Nasir Khusraw was appointed as a minister in the government of Sultan Mahmud Ghaznavi. However, Nasir Khusraw eventually resigned from his position as he disliked the corruption of the new Seljuk rulers, and he was afraid of becoming a hypocrite who could be bought by money. After resigning from the Seljuk government, Nasir Khusraw went on a spiritual journey to the holy city of Mecca in Arabia. On his way to Mecca, Nasir Khusraw passed through Central Asia, Persia, the Caucasus, Syria, Iraq, and the Arabian Peninsula, and he wrote an account of his travels. Besides this, he also openly criticized the flaws of various states that ruled these regions, such as the Seljuks, the Abbasids, and the Fatimids, and he called for reforms in the Muslim world. For example, during his time in the Persian city of Nishapur, he spoke out against the execution of innocent people based on suspicion and no real evidence. Nasir Khusraw also spoke out against hypocritical preachers who gave unjust fatwas to please rulers in exchange for money. Due to his vocal opposition to oppression, Nasir Khusraw was eventually forced to leave Persia as he was threatened by the local Seljuk governor. However, he faced opposition wherever he went due to his criticism of rulers and corrupt ministers. He stated, "I have become an enemy of the Turk, the Arab, and the Khorasani. They always look for a fault in me, but they do not find any, and yet they say that I am a heretic." After a long and difficult journey, Nasir Khusraw eventually arrived in the holy city of Mecca, where he performed the Islamic pilgrimage of Hajj. After completing the pilgrimage, Nasir Khusraw continued his journey further east and traveled to Egypt, where he was generously rewarded by the Fatimid Caliph known as Al-Mustansir, who was impressed with Nasir Khusraw's knowledge. Despite his fame in Egypt, Nasir Khusraw decided to return to his homeland of Khorasan in Persia, where he intended to use his experiences and knowledge to reform his own society. By the time Nasir Khusraw had returned to his homeland of Khorasan, he had accumulated many observations of both positive and negative aspects of various Muslim states, such as the Fatimids, the Abbasids, and the Seljuks. Therefore, he used his knowledge to call for political reforms in his homeland. He called on the Seljuk government to crack down on corruption, to increase the salaries of judges, and to invest in infrastructure. Because of his eloquent speeches, Nasir Khusraw gained hundreds of followers across the region of Khorasan. However, because of his open criticism of the Seljuk policies, he began to receive threats from the Seljuk government. However, Nasir Khusraw refused to be intimidated and stated, "I am not afraid of the Sultan. I am not a slave to the times, and I am not a slave to greed. It is greed that brings a person to the court of the Sultan. I will not buy the lowly world with a penny. I am proud of my knowledge and wisdom." The Seljuks were too afraid of arresting or executing Nasir Khusraw, as they feared a widespread rebellion due to his huge following. Therefore, when intimidation failed, the Seljuks convinced preachers in Khorasan to publicly declare Nasir Khusraw as an infidel by misinterpreting some of his poems. Nasir Khusraw ignored these hateful preachers and stated, "The wise man wastes no words on a horde of idiots. They call me unorthodox. What do they know of Islam except the name?" Nasir Khusraw also spoke out against preachers who had become close to the Sultan by issuing fatwas based on the Sultan's desires, and he compared their quick rise to fame with his long journey of accumulating knowledge. Have you heard? A pumpkin vine grew beneath a towering tree. In only 20 days it grew and spread and put forth fruit. It asked the tree, "How old are you? How many years?" The tree replied, 200. The pumpkin vine laughed and said, "Look, in 20 days I've done more than you. Tell me, why are you so slow?" The tree responded, "O little vine, today is not the day of reckoning between the two of us. Tomorrow, when the winds of autumn howl down on you and me, then it shall be known for sure which one of us is most resilient." After hateful preachers incited the public against him, Nasir Khusraw was forced to leave Khorasan after his house was burned by an angry mob who accused him of being a heretic. Therefore, Nasir Khusraw fled to the mountains of Badakhshan, where he spent his final years. During his last years, Nasir Khusraw dedicated his time to writing, and he wrote many books such as his collection of poetry, his account of his travels across the Muslim world, and various other books on Islam, ethics, and wisdom. Nasir Khusraw passed away in exile in the small town of Yamghan in the mountains of Badakhshan in the year 1088.